Hello, I am Riley Cook, and today we're going to go over the 5 things that you need to know about living here in Distillery District. Let's go. So the first thing that you need to know about living in Distillery District is that you have access to some of Toronto's best restaurants, bars, and cafes. This includes District Pizza, which has awesome selection of pizzas, Boku, which is Japanese food and a great drink selection. They have a really cool patio as well. Then we have Madrina, which is Spanish bar and tapas, and they have a really nice patio in the center of Distillery District. There's actually a lot of patio seating right now in Distillery District that isn't normally there, but it's really great. We have Wildly Delicious, which has food, coffee, wine, beer, and a great selection of gifts. El Catrine is probably my favorite place in Distillery District to eat, and they have Mexican food and an amazing bar. Pure Spirits Oyster House is oysters and seafood, and they have a great patio as well with lots of seating. Clooney's is a French restaurant and patisserie, and they have a really Instagrammable patio that's covered with vines, and they also have a great selection of pastries and ice cream as well. Soma is a chocolate lover's dream. They have a spicy hot chocolate. Check it out, you'll love it. There's a ton of coffee options in Distillery, the first one being Arvo. They have great coffee, really good food, and they sell plants as well. Cacao 70 is a cafe, but they primarily specialize in chocolate desserts. Balzac's is probably one of the best known cafes in all of Distillery District. It's got really good coffee, and it's situated in a fire pump house that was built in 1895, which is really cool. Brick Street Bakery has an awesome selection of homemade breads, baked goods, sandwiches, coffee, and a whole bunch more. Izumi Brewery is a Japanese sake that's actually made with Muskoka spring water. Spirit of York is a gin and vodka distillery, but they're actually working on a whiskey right now as well, and they've got tastings that you can go and try. Mill Street Brewery is really cool because they have a brew pub, a restaurant, and a retail store, plus a really big patio, so you can go and enjoy that during the summer. The second thing that you need to know about living in Distillery District is that it's a great location with access to the downtown core, Toronto's East End, and 2 major highways, on top of being in a really cool historic area. So the first place that's super close is Harbourfront, and so that means you can get to Lake Ontario, Sugar Beach, the ferry terminal to go over to the islands. You can go and check out Harbourfront Centre and so much more. Corktown is just to the east of Distillery District, and it's a really cool area. You've got Corktown Commons, which is a beautiful park, Underpass Park, which is a cool skate park, and you have access to King Street East. Going a little bit further east, you'll go over to Leslieville and Riverside, and you have a bunch of really great restaurants there, some nice parks. If you go even further east, you'll get to the beaches where you have Woodbine Park and the beach, Kew Gardens, Ashbridges Bay, and so much more. The highway access from Distillery District is really handy. You can get onto the Don Valley Parkway and the Gardiner Expressway super quickly, which makes transiting basically either way out of the downtown core really quick and super efficient. The third thing that you need to know about living in Distillery District is that in non-COVID times, it can get super hectic with events like the Toronto Christmas Market, the Lights Festival, and a whole bunch more. This results in a lot of traffic with pretty limited street access, and they've tried to make it better over the past couple of years, but it's still just way too many cars. This means that there's a lot of lineups for basically everything. Trying to get in to your favorite local coffee shop gets a lot harder, so just keep this in mind. With a lot of people coming to these events by TTC, the 504 King especially can get a lot busier than normal, so just factor this in for your commute during those event times. Parking is probably one of the biggest difficulties when you come to the Distillery District when there's events going on. There's just not enough of it for the people that want to come, and it's actually going to get a lot harder because one of the biggest parking lots they just took away to turn into a condo. The fourth thing that you need to know about living in Distillery District is that it's extremely bike friendly with numerous bike paths, public bike rentals, and a bunch of places to lock up your bike. The public bike rentals are really reasonably priced, and they usually have them pretty well stocked up at the several locations around Distillery District. As I mentioned, there's a couple of places to lock up your bike if you want to pop in for a coffee, so those are always around. And as I mentioned, there are various bike paths to choose from, so you can easily get to the Martin Goodman Trail, the Dawn Trail system, go up Bayview Avenue, and a whole bunch more. I really love it as a cyclist myself. It's probably one of the favorite things that I love about living in Distillery is I can get pretty much anywhere around the city on my bike, and I can be on a dedicated bike path doing so. The fifth thing that you need to know about living in the Distillery District is that there's a relatively low number of condo sales compared to the downtown core. From January to June 2021, there were only 13 one-bed condos sold, with the average price being $617,000. For a 1+ den during that same period was 17 condos sold, with an average price of $653,000. For a 2-bed, it was 15 sales with an average price of $976,000. And for a 2+ den, there were only 10 units sold with an average price of just over $1 million. This will change a bit in the coming years as there's a bunch of new developments coming in Distillery District, which should add some inventory and likely increase the number of sales. So, what are your favorite things about the Distillery District? I'd love to hear it. If I've missed anything, let me know in the comment section down below. Talk to you on the next one. Bye.